Hi, my name is Victor Mbachi, and I want to say thank you once again for taking out the time to watch this video. I hope past videos have been very helpful and you've been learning a few tips that could help you better your life. Recall the last video I made, I talked about becoming a star. So I hope you're doing everything possible to be strategic, to be timely, to anticipate, and to be result oriented, because this is all you need to become a star. Okay? 2 weeks ago we talked about where champions live. Now, based off of that teaching, I was so inspired to talk to people about where champions live, who a champion is, and I'm really encouraged to talk to you about a topic that would interest you, and it's titled the 10 Commandments of Champions. The 10 Commandments of Champions. You would understand that every day people want to win. I'm sure you were watching me and you had plans, or you made plans today to win in every area of your life, to win in your academics, to win in marriage. I mean, to keep winning in every area of your life, you understand. Now, not everybody wins as expected. There are rules, there are skills, there are traits that shows that people can actually live as champions in their daily life. And that's why I've been inspired, to make the note and to write on the subject of the 10 Commandments of Champions. I trust that you'll enjoy this video, so sit back, relax. If there's any distraction around you, please get your earpiece or your AirPod, have it on, and let's write on the subject together. Now, before I talk about the 10 Commandments of Champions, which I know you're eager to know or you're eager to learn about, I would first like to define who a champion is. Alright, so there's a lot of misconception about who a champion is. In our world today, in our present dispensation, a lot of people feel when they have lots of money in their bank account, that makes them a champion, or when they have a lot of connection in what we call, in this part of the world, what we call man no man. Oh, they are champions. And interestingly, some feel, having 6 packs built in the gym or somewhere makes them a champion. That is absolutely not true. Let's quickly define who a champion is. I'm sure you have your perception, you have your idea, you have all that, but this is my submission about who a champion is. I'm going to define a champion in 3 ways, or it's interrelated, so you understand who a champion is. So number 1, a champion is anyone who's given the privilege to see a new day. A champion is anyone who's given the privilege to see another day. Now, life is the essence for which we can do anything. Life is the platform. Life is the stage. If you don't have life and you're down 6 feet, forget it. You cannot show off anything, and you do not have an opportunity to relate or to exhibit whatever traits and gifts or skills you have. All right. So take my very first definition about who a champion is. A champion is anyone who's given the privilege to see a brand new day. Every day you wake up, say to yourself, I am a champion. And true to it, you are a champion. For the gift of life, to be able to do new things, you are a champion. And that's why I also used to say to people who look down on themselves, as long as there is life, there is hope. You probably failed in the past few years, in the past few weeks and months, but I've come to tell you that one of the ways to know you are a champion is that you have the privilege to live another day. That's number 1. Now, number 2 way I define a champion, I define a champion as someone who has conquered life within his or her space, within his or her geographical location, and also impacting lives positively. Please get that right. Anyone who has conquered life within his or her space of influence. Anyone who has conquered life within his or her space of influence and has also impacted others positively. All right, you cannot be a negative person and choose to be a champion. In fact, the more negative you are, the less impactful you become. The more negative you are, the more people stay away from you because they don't want to get involved in your drama and in the things you do that puts them off. All right, so number 2 is that a champion is someone who who has conquered life within his or her space of influence and have also affected other lives positively. Now, let me give a good example of what I mean. A lot of people know Donald Trump, but I can tell you emphatically that not every single soul on the surface of the earth, or not every single person that is alive today knows Donald Trump. You know why? Donald Trump has a space of influence in America, in the UK, in certain parts of Nigeria. I wouldn't be surprised if you go to some remote villages in Nigeria and ask them, oh, do you know Donald Trump? The answer would probably be no. Even though America is a powerful nation, you know, on the earth, some people still do not know who Donald Trump is. I mean, it's just also in reverse examples saying that, oh, somebody somewhere in Oklahoma or in Alberta knows the president of Nigeria. Guess what? In Nigeria, a lot of people know President Muhammadu Buhari, but not even in every part of the world. So that buttresses the point where I said that a champion is anybody who has conquered life in his or her area or space of influence and has impacted other lives positively. All right, positively. And that's why you hear the phrase when people say, oh, that guy, that lady is a local champion. You know why? Within his or her space of influence, the person has conquered. And I know sometimes some things happen negatively, you know, but anyone who has conquered his or her space of influence is called a champion. Now, number three, to make up for the definition of who a champion is anyone who has conquered mediocrity. Mediocrity. There are too many ex-champions making so much noise. All right? Every time you win, every win is an opportunity for you to win more. All right, but I've seen people who sit at a point, you know, they just get one win and then they keep making noise about it for the rest of their life. Such people are called ex-champions. So a champion is someone who has conquered mediocrity, who has won mediocrity. Every time you win, you get an opportunity to win more. During the live session video, someone commented and said that the victories of yesterday is an enemy of today's victory, and that is absolutely true. Okay, for you to remain a champion, you must work on more wins, you must work on more battles, you must face more battles and challenges. In fact, the more battles you fight, the more wins you get, the more relevant and impactful you become. I hope you understand my definition of who a champion is. Now, before I go to the traits of a champion, let me quickly, in 3 sentences, rephrase my definition for a champion. Number one, I said a champion is someone who has been given the privilege to see another day. Number two, I said a champion is anyone who has conquered life within their space of influence and has impacted other lives positively. And then number three, I said that a champion is defined as someone who has conquered mediocrity. Okay, I hope you're coming along with me. Now, let me quickly talk to you about the traits of champions. The traits of champion. It's good to know the things you have to do, the way you have to live. There's a way champions live, okay? And there's a way losers live. Losers live in regret, you know, losers live in a place of empathy, all right? So let's quickly talk about the traits of a champion. Number one trait of a champion is that champions don't make noise, they make news. Champions don't make noise, they make news. How noisy are you? All right, how noisy are you? And out of the whole noise you make, even if you make noise, do you make news out of the noise? All right, we are in a new normal today, and it's not about the much noise you make, it's about the news you make that impacts other people's life positively. Making news, or you're just making noise for the fun of it, or living in the past glory. All right, number two trait of a champion, okay, and I know you are one, is that champions don't make a fool or don't make a mess or don't castigate defeated opponents. Okay, that you won is all about your hard work and commitment. I totally understand, but of course you must understand that whoever you have met in the race of life and you have surpassed them, for some reasons they also had prepared and made their plans, but of course your plan was superior. So you are superior, I understand, but please understand that it's not enough reason for you to make a fool of your opponents. Now, number three, champions don't castigate upcoming champions. They don't castigate upcoming champions. You are, like people would always say, take care of the people you meet on your way up, all right? A lot of things would catch up with you as life continues, such as age, capacity and all that. So as a champion, one of your greatest traits should be that you don't castigate upcoming champions. You don't castigate upcoming champions. All right. Now I'm going to tie that to number 4, which is that champions train potential champions. Okay, you can't be a lord all on your own. You have been given a privilege to serve humanity. When you get to the place of being a champion, you have one of the greatest tools, which is the privilege, to train other champions. So champions are actually trainers. For sustenance and for continuity, champions are actually trainers. Okay. Now, number 5 trait of a champion is that champions are committed and connected to people. Champions don't live in isolation. Oh, I am this, without me, oh, I am this. You can't be the alpha and omega. You can't be all in all. Champions get trained. So somebody at some point must have trained you. You need to be committed to those who have trained you. You need to be committed to those you are training. You need to be connected to people. People make life. No man can live in isolation. If you ask those during this pandemic who have been asked to isolate, it's never a pleasant experience, So champions actually are connected and, committed to people. Let me quickly give you 3 skills of a champion. Number 1 is humility. You must be very skillful showing humility. All right. Arrogance has never helped anyone. Okay, so you must stay away from any form of ignorance, arrogance, pride, and all such things that could bring you down while you're trying to work your way up to become a champion in life, okay, or to maintain your level of championship, if there's anything like that. You must be humble. Number 2 is patience. Things grow gradually. Have you wondered why you don't give birth to a child in January and by December the child is already eating edibles? It is because it's a process, all right? So please be patient. It's a very strong tool you need if you must continue or if you must become a champion or continue to maintain your level as a champion. You need to be patient. Things don't just happen. Things are made to happen. And if things are made to happen, then it's always a process. There's always a process to it. Now, number 3 skill is self-discipline. Self-discipline. The truth be told, when there is no self-discipline, progress is almost unachievable because everything that comes your way tends to throw you off balance. The more disciplined you are as a person, the more coordinated your environment and the more coordinated your pursuit as an individual. So I encourage you to be, please, self-disciplined. Don't forget these 3 skills. Number 1 is that you have to be humble. Number 2, you have to be patient. And the number 3, you have to be very, 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 very self-disciplined. Okay. I had a quote many years back, from a friend who we used to rub mind and sit down and talk about the issues of life together. And he said to me emphatically, anything you get by indiscipline, you lose by indiscipline. All right. If you wiggle your way around certain things, it's most likely you will lose such things by the same way you got them. Anything you get by indiscipline, you lose by indiscipline. All right, guys. Now, this is the core of my teaching today. And I need you to please pay attention, take notes, and start living by this commandment. The 10 commandments of champions. The 10 commandments of champions. Number 1, thou shalt believe in God and in yourself. Remember, in all the videos, I would always tell you in all my videos, there is a God factor. There is a God factor. There is someone behind the scene helping you and enabling you to make progress and to, of course, get better as you live and as you get older. All right. So number 1 commandment for you, if you have to be a champion or if you have to maintain your place as a champion, is that thou shalt believe in God and in yourself. Now, remember, this is split like it's split into 2. Thou shalt believe in God and in yourself. If you believe in God and you don't believe in yourself, sorry, you cannot live as a champion. If you believe so much in yourself and you don't believe in God, I'm sorry, you would also be dropping the ball, okay? So the number one thing you must always remember is, as a champion, which is a command for you, is that you must always believe in God and believe in yourself. Believe in the abilities and the power of God to help you scale through in life. Believe in your inherent gifts and talents and grace and skills to be able to achieve certain things in life. Number one is, thou shalt believe in God and in yourself. All right, number two commandment is, thou shalt not get crushed. Thou shalt not get crushed. See, it's normal, it's okay sometimes when you fall, you know, you are pressed down, you're castigated, you have a strong feeling of failure, but don't ever get crushed and don't be destroyed. All right, you can be pressed, you fall as many times as possible. These things happen. You try 100 times, you try 3, 4, 5 times, but please don't get crushed. The moment you get crushed as a champion, you have lost out of the battle. Up until the last minute of the battle of your race, you must not get crushed. I agree, there will be bruises, there will be pain, you know, a lot of struggles, a lot of things to deal with, but please don't get crushed and destroyed. Thou shalt not get crushed and destroyed. Every time you fall, get up and keep running. Every time you fail, get up and keep pursuing. That is what makes you a champion. Commandment number 2, thou shalt not get crushed. All right, so commandment number 3 in the 10 commandments of champions is that thou shalt not take no for an answer. All right, thou shalt not take no for an answer. Keep pressing, keep pushing. All right, everybody might not believe in you, all right, but as long as you understand the first commandment, which is thou shalt believe in God and in yourself, please stay in your place and hold on to commandment number 3. Thou shalt not take no for an answer. Okay, you know the capacity you carry, you know what you have inside of you, you know the capacity and the way at which you can deliver. Please do not take no for an answer. We have cases and examples you can read up, and some you have heard of before now, of people who didn't take no for an answer. All right, so I need you to hold on to that third commandment. No, do not take no for an answer. Thou shalt not take no for an answer. Keep pressing, keep pushing, keep saying yes to yourself, even when the people around you or the environment or the society is saying no. Thou shalt not take no for an answer. Right, commandment number 4, thou shalt not sleep at the battleground. This is quite interesting. Thou shalt not sleep at the battleground. It's quite interesting to know that when people get into certain issues in life, rather than address them, I've seen people sleep on their cases. I mean, there's a difference between sleeping over a case and sleeping on a case. Okay, now when you sleep over issues, you try to, you know, wake up, get refreshed and get new ideas, you know, come up with new things that could help you walk around that pursuit. However, sleeping on a case is like sleeping at the battlefront. The enemy will fry you for lunch. The enemy will fry you for lunch. All right, so guys, please, thou shalt not sleep at the battleground. Life is a battle, Joyce Meyer said. The battle of life is the battle of the mind. Whatever you cannot conquer in your mind, you cannot conquer in life. And whatever you can conquer in your mind, you conquer with time. That's what was quoted by Joyce Meyer, and it's very apt and very useful for everyone who must remain active at the battlefield of life. All right, please do not sleep on the battlefield. It's dangerous to yourself and of course to anyone who's coming along with you, for anyone you have on, you know, because the truth is your success determines the success of other people. So you don't want to sleep on the battleground to get hurt and destroyed, and then everybody looking up to you starts struggling to get over certain things they have hitherto looked up to you for. I don't know if you understand. So always hold on to number 4, thou shalt not sleep at the battleground. 10 commandments of champions. Number 5, commandment number 5 is thou shalt not play at the battlefronts. You wonder why that is there? Yeah, I've seen a lot of people get in the face of reality and they just play away, they just joke away, they just chat away their opportunities in life. All right, thou shalt not play. Life is a serious business. Life is a serious business. You can't afford to take the issues or some issues of your life with levity. You have to be very serious about it. Like we said in the last video, you have to anticipate. People who anticipate don't joke about things. You know, people who are strategic don't jump from one party or from one place to the other playing about the issues of life. All right, number 5, thou shalt not play. Don't forget, number 4 is thou shalt not sleep. It is possible to be fully awake and not active, all right, in core areas, in the things you're supposed to do to maintain your place as a champion. All right, so it's one thing to sleep in the place of battle. It's another thing to be awake. You are active, but you are active in the wrong direction. Okay, doing same thing the same way and expecting a better result is insanity. So you need to wake up and take this commandment as expected and deal with them and live by them. That way you will continue to maintain your place as a champion. All right, commandment number 6, thou shalt confront your challenges. Thou shalt confront your challenges. I've seen quite a number of persons run away from challenges. That which cannot kill you would only make you stronger. I think I mentioned that in one of my videos before now. The truth is, you must not run away from any challenge. Even if you retreat, just tell yourself, I am going to retreat and I'm coming back stronger and better. Thou shalt confront your challenges. It is very important that as soon as you anticipate a challenge, for you to continue to maintain your level as a champion, you must be able to confront them. Sit down. Critical thinking would help you. Critical thinking would help you to confront these challenges. And even if you cannot get them, remember, part of the things we mentioned as the trait of a champion is that they are connected and, you know, they are committed to people. Then you can leverage on some of your connections. I mean, even in the real battlefield of life, even generals leverage on support from the people who are there to fight the battle with them. So please confront your challenges, but you must ask yourself how. If you cannot think through, then get somebody to help you, call for backup, but the bottom line still remains as a command for you, if you have to continue to live at the level of a champion, is that you must not run away from challenges. All right, commandment number 7 in the 10 commandments of champions is that thou shalt be studious and strategic. Thou shalt be studious and strategic. Now, if you have ever watched football or any game, any game whatsoever, or any sports rather, one of the things the coaches and the trainers does is to help the candidate or the sports person or the group of sportsmen study the opponents. They study their opponents. If you are able to study the things around you or the factors that makes up that battle, then you should be able to stand a better opportunity to win that battle. All right, so you have to be studious and strategic. You have to be studious and strategic. To be honest, everything about life talks about strategy. You have to be. Learn about certain things before going into them. Read up about the business, get ideas, get trainings, get mentoring, get counsel before diving into any form of business or into any endeavor. That is part of being studious, because you're studying about that thing, whether from a book, online, on YouTube, just like you're learning today on how to live as a champion. Be studious and be strategic. So number 7 commandment for you in this 10 commandments of a champion is that thou shalt be studious and strategic. Think about the next 10-15 years. Think about the next 6 months. Think about the next 2 years. Just be very strategic. Strategy is the foundation for excellence. Strategy is the foundation for excellence, because it affords you the opportunity to do things separate from how people do things, or it gives you an opportunity to do things separately or differently from how people do them. All right, number 8 commandment is thou shalt not ridicule or underrate your opponents. Thou shalt not ridicule or underrate your opponent. I've seen quite a number of persons make so much noise, and you can correlate this with what I said as part of the trait. Don't make noise, but make news. Don't underrate anyone. Don't underrate anything. Don't ridicule anyone, and don't ridicule anything. That you have an opportunity to sit in a place of being a champion today doesn't mean that someone else cannot outrun you. All right? And that's why we have ex-champions. Celebrate your life at the level at which you can. Be very decisive and tactical and of course strategic about your pursuit, but do not ridicule your opponent or don't underrate them. Some things, have you ever wondered that some of the exams you ridicule or you underrate, sometimes some people end up failing such exams? You know why? Because they underrated it. Oh, we used to do it. Oh, we know how they used to do it. In fact, most times when you underrate people or when you underrate your opponent or certain task, it puts you at a disadvantage because there could be a switch. Things could change. All right? So it's very important, and it's a commandment for you as an individual that thou shalt not underrate or ridicule your opponent. All right, number 9, guys, is thou shalt not celebrate too soon until victory is announced. Until victory is announced. Now, some time ago, I watched a YouTube video. I'll just give this example for this particular one, and I think it somehow, would send the message across. Now, there was a penalty in football, and it was a goalkeeper and, of course, one of the players. Now, this guy shot the ball, and the ball went all the way. I think it was the final shot that would decide the winner of the match. Yeah. So this guy, played the penalty. Very hot, nice ball, but it went to hit the bar, the top bar of the net, and then the ball went all the way up. Obviously, the keeper felt, oh, that is it, we have won. And then he ran out of the goal post and was jubilating, running around, and then the ball from the height where it went to came down, hit the floor, bounced severally, bounced towards the goal post. And then by the time they called the attention of the goalkeeper, because the ball was still in motion, by the time they called the attention of the goalkeeper, who was far away from the goal post, the ball had bounced severally and got into the net. Guys, you cannot celebrate too soon. I know you are sure of what you did. I know you are very certain of how you played your game and all that. But please, until victory is won, do not jump into celebration. You can be joyful about it. You can anticipate that good things would happen. But excuse me, one of the commandments is do not celebrate too soon. Some of you will remember the story in the Holy Book about one giant guy who was so tall, huge. Everything about him was scary. His physique was intimidating. And then the guys behind him and he himself, they were celebrating, and they were bragging, they underrated every single person. And then here comes a small boy called David, and then he hit them on the floor. Do not celebrate too soon. Do not celebrate too soon until victory is won. And in that story, it has it that when Goliath fell on the floor, right, David went straight to perfect the victory. There is always a place of perfection of victory before celebration. All right, and then number 10 commandment of champions is thou shalt train potential champions. I mentioned that in the trait. Thou shalt train potential champions. Have you heard of the word, we rise by lifting others? Have you heard of it? Posterity is king. Posterity is king. That you are at a place of victory, or you are a champion today. It doesn't give you the room not to train others. Okay? It should be a commandment for every single person. It should be a commandment. We rise by lifting others. Because by the time you have gotten to your peak and there are younger chaps coming up, if you have ever trained any of them, what happens is they keep referencing you as their point of liftings, which keeps you in relevance. And we've even seen people who are long dead that people still, give credit to, past heroes and all that. That's because these guys were champions in their time and they trained other champions. It is a command. Now, I understand why some people don't train others. I really do understand. There are a couple of persons who don't do legit stuffs and all that. Illegitimate transactions would always thrive in secrecy. I've worked a few years of my life, and what I say to people is, why would you not tell people, or why would you not be open enough, be vocal enough to teach people how to rise in the level, or how to rise in the ladder of success? You've been in that business for 10 years, 15 years, or even 5 years, and you've gone up the ladder. It tells me that there is something illegitimate about you and your person, much more than business secret or some kind of secrecy, than, you know, not telling someone how you rose. Okay, so champions train others. Thou shalt train potential champions. Look out for people around you in their 10s, in their 20s, in their 30s, even in their 40s. Look out for the potential in them and be able to help them grow in life. Okay, that's number 10 commandment. Very powerful, because it has to do with posterity, carrying on the legacy through other people coming behind you. Now, today we've talked about the 10 commandments of champions, and I'm sure you have learned something about them. All right, my encouragement to you will be that you please watch this video over and over again and ask yourself, which of these commandments am I not keeping? Because it could possibly be the reason you are still losing. All right, it could be the reason you are still at the back end. It could be the reason why you are not making your desired progress. Stick to the commandments, learn from them, teach others, and I'm sure you will not regret any part of it. So I'll quickly run over this commandment again, just from 1 to 10 without any further explanation, so you can understand. Number 1, thou shalt believe in God and in thyself. Okay? Number 2, thou shalt not get crushed. All right? Number 3, thou shalt not take no for an answer. Okay? Number 4, thou shalt not sleep at the battlefield or at the battleground. Number 5, thou shalt not play at the battleground. Number 6, thou shalt confront all your challenges. Every single thing, thou shalt confront all thy challenges. Number 7, thou shalt be studious and strategic. Thou shalt be studious and strategic. Okay, number 8, thou shalt not ridicule and underrate your opponent. Thou shalt not ridicule and underrate your opponent. Number 9, I said, thou shalt not celebrate too soon, okay, until victory is announced. Thou shalt not celebrate too soon until victory is announced. Okay, number 10, finally, I said, thou shalt train potential champions. I hope you got all that. Please watch these videos again and again and again and again. Try to assimilate these commandments, because they will help you real good. Remember, I said earlier, life is a battleground, and of all I've taught you today, I've told you who a champion is, the traits of a champion, the skills required by a champion, and most importantly, the 10 commandments of a champion. Till I come your way next time, please continue to watch these videos, and if you have not watched any of our past videos, trust me, you have missed out, but you have an opportunity to go to our YouTube channel or to any of our social media handles to watch all these videos. I've talked about quite a lot of topics, from dealing with failures to, you know, leading yourself and how to manage envy. Quite a lot of helpful videos that would help you live better. All right, please follow us on all our handles on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and any other handle you can imagine. We are all there. Okay, we need you to go there. So go subscribe on YouTube. Always remember, life was made to be simple. It was never ordained by God to be complicated. Thank you.